dozens of Netflix employees walked out in protest of the company's refusal to take down Dave Chappelle's comedy show, The Closer. They were joined by LGBTQ advocates who sent a clear message to the streaming service. BNC's Anita Bennett has the story.
Transgender Netflix staffers say enough is enough. They walked off their jobs at the Netflix building in Hollywood over comedian Dave Chappelle's stand-up special, The Closer. Protesters say the comic's words are transphobic and harmful.
I'm here today to talk to the people that signed the check, because Dave Chappelle doesn't have the capacity or the power to sign his own check. It is about Netflix.
At issue are Chappelle's comments in the special about the transgender community and gay people. Amid the fallout, the comedian recently commented at an event here in Hollywood and said his critics are trying to cancel him. But the organizer of Wednesday's walkout says that's not true.
This isn't an instance of cancel culture, because I've invited Dave Chappelle to have transformative dialogue with us on multiple occasions, and he has made it clear that it is not of interest to him. So just to be clear, this isn't cancel culture, but an avoidance of accountability.
Meantime, counter-protesters at the Wednesday rally voiced support for Chappelle. Now, Netflix released a statement about the walkout saying, quote, "We value our trans colleagues and allies and understand the deep hurt that's been caused. We respect the decision of any employee who chooses to walk out and recognize we have much more work to do within Netflix and in our content." In Los Angeles, I'm Anita Bennett for Start Your Day.
So Anita Bennett did a fine story presenting both sides, I think. Netflix statement was one of avoidance. And I don't know where I stand on this. And maybe that's a cop-out, because by now it's been a few weeks and I should know. Right. Dave Chappelle, you have over here, who's ignoring it, pretty much, saying, whatever. And then you have Netflix, who's kind of putting out a statement. What does the statement really say? We have work to do with our content and I guess the culture within Netflix. But what is that really saying? What do they plan to do? It seems like it's a deliberate thing that they didn't go further and state that. They didn't even say we're opening up a dialogue, we're holding camps, somewhere, retreats with our employees. They didn't say any of that. So I have to assume that they're not going to be doing that. I just don't know. Did you watch the special? Because, I think he's the greatest comedian alive.
Yeah, I think he's the greatest stand-up comedian we've ever seen. And, I love Eddie, love Richard Pryor, but Dave Chappelle is the GOAT when it comes to stand-up comedian. He's sharp, he's intelligent, he is witty, he speaks to us in a different level, and he's political in a sense. You have to kind of mark your words and watch out what you say when it comes to this, because we are for the LGBTQ community, and yes, people in communities such as the LGBTQ community, our community, we need to be heard, and when they feel like they are hurt in any kind of way, you have to take their feelings into consideration. I've learned a long time ago that even if you say some things and you don't intend on saying it, if it makes a person feel a certain way, yes, you need to listen to them and hear them out. What I will say about this, after looking at the special, Dave Chappelle has been saying this for a long period of time. And in this particular special, he actually addressed a lot of the things that they are talking about right now from the LGBTQ community, especially the transgender community, when it comes to cancel culture. And he started talking about the baby and how the baby could go into a Walmart in North Carolina and kill someone, not get canceled, but if he tells jokes about the LGBTQ community, then all of a sudden his career is over. Here's the thing that I don't know, that confuses me a little bit, is that this was his sixth special. This was the last special that he had on Netflix to satisfy his contract with them. He's been doing the same jokes, it seems, for the last 3 or 4 specials. And I know they brought their concerns up then, but like now, if you look at it, if you listen to what he was saying, he's explaining it to me at least I understood it in a way to make you say, okay, all right, I see it from their point. But like you said, and sometimes you got to be on the fence in this situation, because I don't want to take anybody's feelings out of consideration. I want to take their feelings into consideration. You got to understand where they're coming from. If they felt it and they look at it a certain way, then you have to be sensitive to that. But I'm wondering, Sharon, if they actually listened to the special, or is this a case in which they heard what he may have said and just running with it and jumping on that bandwagon? That there is something. So tell me in particular what joke you're talking about that made you feel a certain way. Which one?
Well, you'd have to tell me that. And I think you make a strong point. I'm not going to assume that people didn't watch the special, because you have a right to be offended by anything you like. I do think, though, that there's, two things, pressure points between, and there's crossover, of course, LGBTQ. Black people are LGBTQ, but there's these pressure points between two distinct communities, if there can be such a thing, the Black community, LGBTQ. And I think that we have to talk about that. Because when you're so put upon, you have a tendency to say, well, wait a minute, like, you're not more put upon than us, so sit down. And that's not really helpful, okay? I try to be an inclusive listener, okay? But part of my being an inclusive listener is identifying the subject that's at the heart of this thing. That's Dave Chappelle. And do I think Dave Chappelle is a Tucker Carlson? No, I think he's an ally.
Not at all.
I think he is someone who uses his comedy for good, for laughs, of course, but I think that he is an ally to this community too, even the one that he's joked about, and I think that's what you're referring to in his explanation and the way he evolved. I do. So my thing is this, I'll say this, and I don't know all the details, but fight hard against your enemies. Not as hard against your friends. You can have some discussions. They say he doesn't want to talk, and he's not going to talk, and I guess that's his right too. He uses his comedy to talk. He doesn't give a lot of interviews. But I don't know. That's what I'm thinking this morning.
Final thought, he said that basically we have a common enemy, in a sense, and that we're kind of in this together, whatnot. And he is a comedian, and they are
That
jokes.
part.
And he talked about his transgender friend who killed herself. And explained it all. You have to watch it. Just watch it and listen to it, and then come back and you tell me exactly what made you feel a certain way. Then we can have these conversations. But it's good that we have this dialogue.